have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-773-773, 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week: why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? Everybody and their mama, except baby Jessica's daddy, commit suicide. It is the thing to do nowadays. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, whatever you might be doing, anywhere in the world, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. Amazing, huh? And don't forget to follow us. Don't forget to follow us, Jesse Lee Peterson, on Instagram, JLP Talk on Twitter, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, JLP Talk on Twitter. Ring the bell, hit the like button, and all those good things. All those good things. What the? Lot going on. A lot is going on. So it's Thursday again. And every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
Okay, are y'all ready for a little church today? My next guest is a 5-year-old preacher who went viral when his mom captured him baptizing his toy in the bathtub.
For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believe in him shall not perish and they shall not die, but have everlasting life.
And I see here, it seems like these kids are just regurgitating Bible verses.
You will emerge from that as an atheist. You need to get your vaccination. I got my booster. I'm telling you again, as your leader and pastor, you want to be safe and healthy. You want to get boosted in Jesus' name.
It's a disgrace.
God is non-binary. God is queer. God is autistic.
Let me hear you speak in tongue.
Well, I know what it means, but it's just hard to understand. But you got to realize that the prophets were out there saying, "Thus saith the Lord," and they didn't even know who it was. They didn't understand what they were saying.
Amazing. Christianity has become a clown show. That's all it is now. It has no real meaning. If you notice, it's just a clown show. Actors on a stage. Actors on a stage. You must return to the Father, folks. Otherwise, you're just going to be an actor on a stage. And we're losing my country because Christianity is just an act now with no real meaning, zero meaning. It's a feel-good dance show. I remember in the good old days, Grandpa tell me about the good old days, when boys were boys and men were men. Most of the people, sometimes you see a little different, but most of the people that did the hooping and hollering and shouting in church, got up and screamed and danced and carried on, rolled on the floor, were the women. When it would happen, or if it should happen, it was the women that would do it. Rarely did you see men doing it. Rarely did you see men doing it. And now men are dancing and hooping and hollering, throwing up holy hands and carrying on worse than the woman. Worse than the woman in many cases. Talk about switching roles. And it's Bible Thumper Thursday. And today I want to talk about some of the dumb stuff, the weakness that is keeping men down and putting all the wrong people in the right places for destruction and to make sure that my country never returns. And it's White History Month, by the way, and all men need to wake up and return to their natural state of being. Natural. All men need to do it, but especially white men. Because it was white men who made the country great. If it wasn't for white men, there would be no America. With the help of God, but there would be no America. And the white men today in America are so subject to the woman, and that is not even funny. But you would think that, and I understand, I'm saying things that I already know that I already understand about, but I'm saying in hope that you may think about it. And once you start thinking about it, getting to know yourself, you will understand it as well, and then you will be free. But you would think that white men, instead of allowing that to happen, to be subject to the woman, they would look at what happened, look at the black men, how the black men are so subject to the woman, to the black woman, and all women really, but especially the black woman, that the black woman make the men call them queens. This is my queen. She is a queen. They make the men call them queen. They make them lick boots. They make them, the mothers make the father go into the background and she show up at the boys' football game or basketball game and be on the front row carrying on like she's his wife. And the girlfriend somewhere in the background being quiet because the mama going to get her if she says anything. The white men should be able to see the black man sitting in the passenger seat and the woman is driving and he's comfortable sitting there. just comfortable in the woman's role, not even fighting for his own identity. Look like, and then if you look at the government is in front of everybody, right? If you look at the government, who is representing the black men in government? The black female. Maxine Waters, the wicked witch from the West, with the low IQ, nasty, evil Sheila Jackson Lee, and all these new ones they have in there, and they're just angry, out of control black women because they have not been corrected by the black man. And so you would think, at least I would, though I understand, that the white men would look at that and they would say, we ain't going down that road. But the white men are either not paying attention or don't know or afraid of all of the above. Because they're truly allowing the women to take over. And men, white men and Mexican men and other men, you're going to suffer by allowing this to happen. Every time the man listens to the woman, he suffers. Every time. Every time. In the state of white men today, white America today, it's sad. It is sad. It's amazing. It's not too late to turn it around because the white man is not as far down the road of destruction as the black men are. And you see that, and not all, because there are black men waking up when they hear the truth as to how to do it. But you see how difficult it is for the black man now. And the woman is destroying his children. Lord, have mercy. And there's nothing he can do about it. Black children are so out there now, they rob, steal, kill, mad. The girls are looking for a father's love, and they just acting like little sluts. Because they're looking for a father's love. I want to give you an example of the state of white America today. Men being subject to women. You're seeing this, and this is evil. The order of God is God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. It's not if you want to get married to have children. You don't have to get married to have children. And if you notice people who get married, they're doing it out of loneliness. They think it's the answer to their emptiness. And they call it love. They think it's the answer to their emptiness. And they call it love. And then when they get together, all they do is fight for love. And they never get it. But anyway, an example of men subject to women. This is from the New York Post. Former Mayor Bill de Blasio and wife Shirlane McCray. So if his wife Shirlane McCray, if his wife's name is Shirlane, why does she have the last name McCray rather than Bill de Blasio last name? That alone tell you that the marriage is not going to work. Men, so I told you before, do what you want, but on your first date, you should ask the woman, are you willing to follow me should we get married? And if she says no, just get up and walk away from the table. Bye. And if you already had a cup of coffee or something, pay for your little coffee so you don't go to jail. But tell her bye. And then, let's say she lies, say, yeah, I will obey you. And then ask, you know you have to drop your name, period, your last name, and take on my name, and we're going far away from your family and my family. If she says no to that, a double bye. Bye-bye. And be done. Because it would never make for a good wife or a mother. She would never make for a good wife or mother. Educated women don't make for good wives or mothers anyway, but if they're unwilling to follow the golden rule that she is coming into your world, you are now her family, there's no marriage. No marriage. Also, I've not seen so many situations where these men are marrying these women and then they move across the country to where her family is. That doesn't even make sense to me. They move to where her family, like they're the woman, and the woman is leading them to her family. And her folks live right down the road, across the street, and they catch nothing but hell. The order is not to do that, men. It's going to be hard enough being married because the wife's going to rebel anyway, all in the name of Jesus. But having her mama, her folks around, it's just double trouble. Don't leave your town to move to her town. Make her go into your town. But anyway, this woman apparently kept her last name. This guy, Mayor de Blasio, and announced that they are splitting after 29 years of marriage. That was never a marriage because she didn't have his last name. So they're splitting after 29 years of marriage so that they can date other people without living apart or getting divorced. This is evil. This is so dumb. What is wrong with de Blasio? So they're splitting. They're denouncing their 29-year marriage so that they can date other people without living apart or getting a divorce. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Watch this from NBC.
Big change for us, but Bill and I are still very much in love.
Outside the Park Slope home she shares with the former mayor, Shirlane McCrae confirmed she and Bill de Blasio are separating, but still going to live here and date other people.
Came to this decision together.
The couple told the New York Times they've had a months-long discussion. Why aren't you lovey-dovey anymore, de Blasio asked his wife. You can't fake it, Ms. McCrae said Tuesday from their kitchen table. You can feel when things are off, Mr. de Blasio said, and you don't want to live that way. Instead, they'll live in what many would describe as an open marriage.
It's a positive move and the best thing for both of us.
10 years ago, the de Blasio's loving marriage was very much a centerpiece of his surprise victory. The former mayor also referenced his wife's romantic past. For the guy who took the chance on a woman who was an out lesbian and wrote an article called I Am a Lesbian, Mr. de Blasio said, there was a part of me that would at times say, is this like a time bomb ticking? Is this something that you're going to regret later on? So I always lived with that stuff. Today in Brooklyn, neighbors seemed supportive.
I think that's wonderful that you have a different style of relationship that makes them both happy.
We really are in a new world of marriage.
Matrimonial lawyer Jacqueline Newman said the next chapter of Bill and Shirlane is also about our modern reality, real estate.
But a lot of times the marital home is the most expensive asset. So very often people can't afford to replicate their lifestyles without staying in the marital home. So that we see.
Wow. Every time, that ain't going to work either, living together like that. Believe me, it's not going to work. But it's about the money. They don't want to sell that house. And so-called open relationship, really, is just a stepping stone to breaking up. What a mess. It's about the money. They don't want to sell that house. White men. And that was a white man with a black woman. You know that wasn't going to work. What the? Because white men with black women, those black women walk all over them. Those women, maybe there are exceptions to the rule. I haven't seen one, but maybe it's this somewhere. But they walk all over the white man. Amazing. Why they have to announce that they were doing it anyway? Why did they put it all out there? If they wanted to get a divorce and live together and all that mess, just do it. But you know why they did it? They put it out there. Ego gratification, excitement, attention, keeping a non-existent self alive. That's why they did it. For the attention. For a lot of people, even bad attention is good for their ego. Because the ego needs attention. It needs yesterday and tomorrow to stay alive. It needs to be divided in order to stay alive. That's why they put it out there. There's no other reason. Because it's not going to benefit them in any other way. But that's why they put it out there. Because who cares? Okay, y'all divorced or whatever. And you're living in the same house and you're going to be dating other people in front of each other. Fine, no one cares. That's not going to help anyone. And those dumb women up there, oh, that's a new time. See, men, you listen to the woman, you will suffer, including your mama. Including their mama. It's all for ego. It's all for ego. I want you to pay attention to what's happening with you. Get to know you, and you'll see how divided you are and how the ego loves excitement, even if it's bad excitement. It just needs that attention in order to stay alive. You don't give the ego any attention, it's going to have a fit and die away and go and find somebody else to live in. It needs attention. Really. Bad attention or good attention. And if it can't get attention within itself in your body, it'll go and try to harm others just to get the attention, the excitement. Isn't that something? My friend Dennis Prager once said, people can become addicted to fame, money, and attention as deeply as they become addicted to drugs. That ain't nothing but the truth, so help me God. That's deep. You got to die from this world spiritually, egoly, and be in it and not of it, and you'll be fine. You have a choice. You can feed your ego and walk around dead, spiritually dead. eyes open, but you're barely breathing. You're miserable. Or you can not feed it and let it die and walk around this earth free. When you just love to be free, free of a conflict, free of all things, free of the false identity. Free of all identities. And white man, if you doubt me, let's say you doubt, no, Jesse, that ain't true. Look at what the black women have done to the black men and boys and how they treat them today. You're going down the same path. And white women need you to be strong. The white women are lost too because the men are not the light of the world anymore in the world. And the white women are lost too. Can't you kind of look at, well, I know you can, I guess, look at the physical aspect of what's happening to the blacks. And then look around you and see that you're doing the same thing. Whereas before you used to lead, and now you're following. And because you're following, the country is falling apart. Your family and everyone. Look at it. You see. And I remember when the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, was in the White House, he and Big Mama Michelle, and we reported, they used to have all these black musicians, everybody go there, and they used to do the little black entertainment stuff. And Snoop Dogg has said, according to a report, I think it was Snoop Dogg, I may be wrong with the name, Snoop Dogg said that he smoked pot in the White House. I think in the White House bathroom. I may be wrong about the bathroom. And so we had never heard of anything like that before. Drugs in the White House. Of all the houses, they went there and they turned the White House black. They turned the White House black. And then God blessed us and gave us the White House back. But because the white men and women are now following black people, guess what they have done at the White House, according to the report? The white man said, you know what? The black people smoked some pot up in here. We're going to do a little better than that. We're going to bring some cocaine. Following the blacks. If you look at the commercials nowadays and entertainment and acting on TV, they're dancing and singing now, the white folks. Dancing and singing. Remember those good old days when you never saw fat white people on TV? They have fat white women now because they got all these fat black women on TV. They'll follow the black men, the black people, dancing and singing, and now they got some cocaine up in the White House. They don't call it the White House for nothing. This is from BBC. And Gateway Pundit. The Secret Service is investigating after cocaine was found at the White House on Sunday night, partying it up. I'll finish this up after this break and your phone calls and super chat. What a mess! If ever. We needed you, Lord. We need you now. A quick break. Back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Okay, welcome back. Couple announcements. Of course, at 9 a.m. this morning, 9 to 11 a.m., the Hake, H-A-K-E report.com. The Hake report.com from 9 to 11. The guy with the good hair. 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And it's White History Month. It's Friday, and the Hake is on fire. Not only is this White History Month for him, it's also his birth month. Isn't that something? Can't get any better than that. And then at 12 noon, at 4 p.m. Well, let's do 12 noon since this is at 4. At 12 p.m. Pacific time. Brand new episode of the Fallen State.tv. The Fallen State.tv. I had a very interesting discussion with a husband and wife who travel around on a bus with their family, and they, quote unquote, minister to other people. They fish this bus up and they travel around. It was a very interesting discussion with Shane and Julie Good from the Bus Life YouTube channel. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Over the past 13 years, we've been on the road.
You guys have 8 children?
11.
How do you have time to make that many babies?
That's a private question.
We got married when I was 17.
I married young, so you raise them up in the way they will go.
That's right.
I thought I loved my parents, but when I forgave them, all of a sudden I had this supernatural love.
Why is the Pope ticked?
If he's angry, we know why. He doesn't love his mother.
That's right. Very, very interesting discussion today at 12 noon Pacific time. And don't forget, oh yeah, tomorrow. Today is not Friday. What the? So the Anchor Baby Show is at 12 noon today. The Anchor Baby Show is at 12 noon Pacific time. That brand new episode of The Fallen State is tomorrow, Friday. I'm thinking it is Friday. He black. The Anchor Baby, the American Anchor Baby. If you heard his show yesterday, you can see he's on fire. Don't forget to podcast too. But at 12 noon, so that Fallen State episode is tomorrow at 12. And the Anchor Baby tomorrow is at 4. You can support the Fallen State by becoming a member on the YouTube channel there. And men form tonight at 12 noon. At 7 p.m. What's up with 12? At 7 p.m. every first Thursday night for men only, 7 p.m. third Thursday night for ladies only, Sunday morning for everybody and their mama. So I think I got it right now. Amazing. I want to finish the story about how white people are following the blacks now. They're being led into a ditch. And we talked about how Snoop Dogg, according to report, when the black people were in the White House, they Snoop Dogg, according to report, said that he smoked pot at the White House. And so now the white people are following the blacks, and they'll do a little better. They have some cocaine up in there, according to the reports. Can you imagine? I can imagine that these people, that things are so bad in my country now that they're doing drugs up in the White House. BBC and Gateway Pundit is reporting the Secret Service is investigating after cocaine was found at the White House on Sunday night. Kareem, whatever her name is, Kareem Pierre want everyone to know that Joe, Jill, and Hunter and the entire Biden family were away all weekend when the cocaine was discovered. Watch this from News Nation.
Secret Service is trying to figure out how cocaine was discovered inside the West Wing of all places. News Nation has confirmed that a sort of white powdery substance was found on Sunday. The preliminary test coming back showing it was indeed the drug. More tests are being done.
But now the questions remain, whose cocaine was it? How did it get there in the first place?
Record has that we have a result on the demo. We have a yellow bar stating cocaine.
Not exactly clear who the drug belonged to or how it got where it ended up. Those obviously the key questions here.
If the Secret Service determines who brought the cocaine into the White House, does the White House support the prosecution of this individual?
I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals from here. Let the Secret Service do their job. The President and the First Lady and their family were not here this weekend, as you all reported on this, and as you also know that they left on Friday and returned just yesterday.
All right, everybody, you can see there that the president was asked many questions, including how cocaine got into the White House, but did not answer.
It walked there by itself. So Pierre, woman, that little female Pierre, why did she have to say that they weren't there? Was she implying they left it behind before they went out of town? Or why was she so up? Oh, they weren't there. What a mess. This is America today. Now do you believe me when I say that my country will never return? They have women now running my country. They have weak beta men running the country. And the white people are following the blacks. I remember years ago when the so-called black leadership and others was telling the black thugs who were doing the robbery and stuff like that, y'all need to go to the suburbs. They used to say that over and over again, the same way they used to encourage the young people to resist the police when they're stopped. And now, lo and behold, these blacks are going all the way out into the suburbs and robbing. And stealing and killing. They're going to the suburbs now. Nobody said anything. No one did anything. The white man was quiet on it, and they thought that by moving out into the suburbs that they would be safe. I've told you once. I've told you twice that the only way you're going to defeat evil is to overcome it. Within yourself and outside of yourself within others. You got to deal with it. You can't run from evil. Look at the number of people running to Texas from California and New York and other places. I understand it. But evil follow them down there. They're having the same problem now. Homelessness is out of control. Crime out of control. It's up to you. Christ dealt with evil in the world, but he walked right through it, right past it. And he dealt with it. It's up to you. It's really up to you. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Mac out of Texas. Mac, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. I'm so happy to speak to the disenfranchised black hope for the poor white people. Hey,
what do you mean by all that? I'm slow and I don't know what that means.
I know you're slow and I'm autistic.
Are you on the speakerphone, Matt?
I'm on the spectrum. Yeah, I'm on. No, I'm on the radio. It's on. You need me to get off that?
Hold on a minute. I'm gonna let Sean handle that. I don't feel like telling you what to do with that. I'll come back to you though. Tar is out of Baltimore. Tar, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Peterson, and happy White History Month to you.
Happy White History Month, Tar. Thank you.
I like three comments. Actually, when you were talking about Snoop Dogg being the first, he wasn't. Actually, if you go back, John Denver claimed to smoke a joint on the White House during, I believe it was,
Well, I didn't say that he was the first. I said that it was reported that when the fallen Messiah was in the White House, Barack Obama, that Snoop said that he smoked pot in the White House. But I don't know if he was the first or not.
Yeah, when everybody talks about racism and the oppression of the black man and all that, slavery is horrible for anything, but nobody ever talks about the...
Why do you say slavery was horrible?
Slavery is horrible when somebody's subjected to do something beyond their will, but nobody talks about
But how do you know that that's what happened?
Well, it's not all. And let me finish my point, and then I'll answer your
all right.
question. And I don't mean to be rude.
No, you're not.
But
Go ahead.
When they talk about the European indentured slaves, the people that came over to say, they wanted to come to the States, well, they offered to work for somebody, and they were put through the same things that, and not all of the black people were put through that, and I understand that. But one of the largest cotton producers in the Carolinas was actually owned by a black person who actually kept his own people enslaved. It's never been about, in my opinion, it's never been about race, religion, or creed. It's always been about economics, and it's always about money. So whoever's got the money and the power is always going to oppress those below them. That's just the way it is, and that's just the way it works.
Yeah, the ego has always been and shall always be about perceived power and wealth. It's about that in every aspect of life. Anyone that has the ego, no matter what job they have or who they are, what color they are, men and women, the ego is all about self. It's about perceived power and wealth.
Yes, sir. That way, it's the need for each individual to feel like they need to be a deity, and they need to have their ego touted, just like you say all the time, and you're always pretty much 100% dead on with whatever you say. And your biblical question, I feel a reason why a lot of people commit suicide.
The biblical question is, why do so many people commit suicide?
I know it sounds kind of callous, but it's because they're cowards. It's the easy way out. And you're talking to somebody, and I can't believe I'm going to say this on air, but in my early 20s, I was in a very dark place, and I was definitely in a dark place. This is somebody who laid in the tub with a shotgun, 12 gauge in their mouth. So, it's a coward's way out. You say
you laid in the tub with a 12 gun in your mouth?
Yeah.
You was about to kill yourself?
Yeah. It was a very dark time in my life.
And who told you to kill yourself?
I was looking for the easy way out. It was the coward's way. It was the easy way out.
Amazing.
It was the easy way out. You're out of this realm, and then who knows what happens next after that? Probably burning an eternity, hanging out there with Satan and hanging with all his crew. Right?
And what changed your mind? Why didn't you do it?
I was it's a very complicated story, and I feel kind of ashamed of talking about it.
Well,
really
you don't have to put your
the
personal business out there, but I'm just asking. You got the gun in your mouth. You're in the bathtub, I guess. Well,
there was an incident. A woman I was with. We were. We had a very. It was a very heated thing. And I wasn't doing it because of her. There was a physical altercation that had taken place, and things had gotten really, really foul. And I guess I was just so ashamed of myself and just so self-loathing, that it had got to that point, and I ain't gonna lie, I was on the drugs and all that shit. I'm sorry, my apologies. Shouldn't have said that, and all that stuff. And I was there. I was looking for a coward's easy way out, and
so why didn't you do it? You were in the tub. You had the gun in your mouth.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just realized that this is, like I said, it's the coward's way out. It's the easy way. For me personally, I'm going out swinging. You know what I mean? I'm not going out until it's my time to go.
And one last thing about that, Todd, when you say the coward's way out of what?
Out of dealing with this world and these problems or these issues that every person is subjected to in this world. You know what I mean? Like where you feel like there is, like, nothing's ever going to change, or we're caught up in this. We're taught a certain way that we're all supposed to be, and we're supposed to achieve these certain goals in this world, and that states who you are as an individual. It's all about as we all talk about, the deity part, where we want to be the ego, if you will.
And so, how's your life today? How's your life now?
My life is good. I go through struggles, trials and tribulations. I bear a cross just like everybody else has to. Like I said, I go out fighting. I motivate myself every day. I have my own company now, and I just opened the doors back in November. And this, you're talking, this is over 20 some years ago when this had transpired. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's the coward's way and it's the easy way. Because when you sit back and reflect on it, at the end of the day, what does that do? You say you're gone, you hurt the people around you that don't understand why you left. And it's the easy way out. When you look at other people that are stuck in wheelchairs or have cerebral palsy, or have these life-altering effects that they were just born that way, and they have to deal with it. And some of those people seem to be the most happiest people.
Amazing. Tony, Todd, I got to run, buddy, because of time. Thank you.
I appreciate it. No, I just wanted to say that, but way happier History Month, and bless you, Mr. Peterson. I'm a huge fan of your work, and I watch you every day.
Thank you, buddy. I totally appreciate that, and I'll respond to the biblical question on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek. All right. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
Okay. Amazing. Super chat. Super.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you?
Walking on water. How you?
All this well. How's the dog? Let the dogs out.
It's always an issue, but he'll be all right. Good morning. Good morning, Super Chatters.
Good morning, y'all.
On D Live with a diamond from the new Nate H. Happy White History Month, JLP and crew.
Thank you. Happy White History Month to you. July just feels white. Happy White History Month. Thank you.
And nice pronunciation, Hassan.
That means a lot coming from the Hake.
The English teacher.
He called it white.
Yeah. Ooh.
And that's how it's pronounced.
White.
Star Sion, these are from yesterday, actually. With Streamlabs donation. Jesse love, Hank don't read my buy me a coffee super chat. And that's not true, Sion.
She said Hank?
Yeah, Hank.
Hake, H-A-K-E.
I read the one where she said, does he love me? I want to know. Shoop, shoop, shoop song. I read, Jesse doesn't judge. He's so patient. It's hard to be patient with people out here. Oh my gosh, Jesse, LOL, you said the portion of the bill was funny and mean, but I obey. So you're going to pay the whole bill and some more for the rest of your life? LOL. I read all those. But anyway.
Yeah, you better read her stuff. What's up?
There was some stuff that I didn't. She put a funny name that I sometimes refused to read.
Okay.
But anyway.
Nice.
She goes on.
Okay.
The tone of a nasty liberal white man is disgusting. A hateful, nasty white man tone acting like a woman hurts my ear. Hope she's not talking about me. Forget you, Sion.
What the?
No. Mr. Pink.
Thank you, Sion. I appreciate it.
On Streamlabs, JesseLeePeterson.live. Hake, every time you come on to do the news, there is this beeping alarm sound in the background for about 2 weeks now. Just FYI. Jesse, spoken like Jesse. Can we get a Jesse rendition of the Hake Report song again one day? Thanks again and keep up the good work.
Nice. Thank you. Amazing.
On D Live, Wrinkle Hands Bing Bong with a diamond. Shout out to baby Jessica's daddy with a corn emoji, 2 pink heart emojis, and a happy, contented face with hearts swirling around emoji.
Nice. Shout out to baby Jessica's daddy. Thank you.
Star Sion with another donation. Jesse, make sure to stay hydrated this summer. You talk a lot and you do counseling sessions, so you have to drink lots of water. Please, and rest.
I will.
Please have the guest I suggested on the Fallen State. They need guidance. Love you always.
Thank you. I'm going to have to check again with my producer what's going on. Thank you.
Star Sion with yet another donation. HWHM, which stands for Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month, Sion.
The whites now are not the same as they were before.
Yeah.
A few whites with common sense, but most of them, if you go to some states, drugs or on some type of painkillers and gaming. All they have is anger also. Who will stand up for this country?
I remember when there were mostly just black people living on the streets and like homeless bums on the street. And now you see a lot of white people on the streets living like that.
Yeah.
Why are they following the blacks? I don't get it.
I do
get it, but it's crazy. But a lot of white people be living on the streets now.
That's a fact.
And young white people with energy.
Yeah. Terrible.
When I come back, we're going to finish up on those. Also, more examples of white history. And thank you, Sion. I appreciate it. Thank all of you for your super chats. I got to take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. We're going to give you examples of real white pioneers. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
How much money would you need to feel rich? Call Me Nonsense has tips on getting out of debt. Not getting rich, but getting out of debt, I guess. And, well, maybe it'll help. Philly suspect, a legitimately insane black guy. And I have your daily dose of Ukraine propaganda and Threads. Instagram, Meta's answer to Twitter, copycat of Twitter, and Truth Social is here. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday, July 6th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour two. Jesse Lee will be right back to your calls, more super chats, and interesting stories and features. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Call Me Nonsense Network, CNN reports thousands of Americans weighed in on the age-old question of how much money you need to be to feel rich. And on average, nearly $500,000 annually to feel financially free, they say. Of course, that figure is a lofty ambition for many people, but financial experts suggest smart decisions such as pay off your credit card debt. Look for a balanced transfer card if you need one with a low rate. Check benefits from your employer, especially 401k matching contributions. And if you're over 50, catch-up contributions. Triage your bills, whatever that means, to minimize the negative fallout. If you can't pay all your bills, communicate with your creditors clearly ASAP. That stands for as soon as possible, ASAP. CNN, Call Me Nonsense, has how. Get a better paying job or more jobs. Get 3 jobs. Spend money on what matters most to you. Cut down spending on things that don't really matter to you. Nice, huh? Philly suspect. New details have emerged, according to Call Me Nonsense Network, about the male facing murder charges for that shooting rampage in Philadelphia. It wasn't just a regular old black-on-black crime thing. It was a man on a mission, a male on a mission, in his dark, satanic mind. On Monday, it killed 5 people, the youngest of whom was a 15-year-old boy. This was the day before the 4th of July. The gun male allegedly told police he carried out the shooting to clean up the neighborhood. What? 2 law enforcement officials, or sources anyway, told Call Me Nonsense that. The suspect's social media activity. He was on social media, features a series of posts about guns, the Second Amendment. He's black. They don't mention that. And the loss of freedoms. So said a law enforcement source. The 40-year-old, they don't mention he was black, was arraigned on Tuesday on charges of murder, attempted murder, assault, reckless endangerment, and weapons charges, and was ordered to be held without bail. He obviously planned the shooting, and that's a quote, a district attorney said, DA. But the investigation into other factors of the case could take months. When the cops apprehended him, I heard that he said it congratulated them on a job well done. Kind of funny, but he murdered people too. Terrible. Your daily dose of Ukraine propaganda, open wide. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of Russia's Wagner paramilitary group, looks like Wagner, is in St. Petersburg, Russia. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko said that today. Prigozhin was meant to be exiled to Belarus after abandoning his short-lived uprising that caused a crisis in Russia last month, according to media reports, if you believe them, which maybe I do, yeah. In a move set up an apparent propaganda campaign against Wagner mercenary boss, Russian state media showed video of authorities raiding Prigozhin's office and residence in St. Petersburg, seizing cash, weapons, and wigs. On the ground in Ukraine, rescue efforts are ongoing following a deadly Russian missile attack in Lviv early this morning. At least 3 people were killed in a direct hit on a residential building, so said officials. Threads is here. Facebook parent company Meta, on Wednesday officially launched a new app called Threads, a direct rival to Twitter, copycat thing. So get on there. Jesse Lee Peterson is on there and the Hake reporter on there. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, hour 2.
to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question: why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're busy and you just can't sit and watch the show, you're on a podcast later, you can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad anywhere in the world. We are heard around the world. And for the flat earthers, up and down the world, by everybody and their mama. So you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. Follow us on JLP Talk on Twitter, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Ring the bell, subscribe, hit the like button, and all those things. Amazing. It is Thursday, and every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
Okay, are y'all ready for a little church today? My next guest is a 5-year-old preacher who went viral when his mom captured him baptizing his toy in the bathtub.
For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believe in him shall not perish and they shall not die, but have everlasting life.
And I see here, it seems like these kids are just regurgitating Bible verses.
You will emerge from that as an atheist. You need to get your vaccination. I got my booster. I'm telling you again, as your leader and pastor, you want to be safe and healthy. You want to get boosted in Jesus' name.
It's a disgrace.
God is non-binary. God is queer. God is autistic.
Let me hear you speak in tongue.
Well, I know what it means, but it's just hard to understand. But you got to realize that the prophets were out there saying, "Thus saith the Lord," and they didn't even know who it was. They didn't understand what they were saying.
They didn't understand what they were saying. That's right, boy. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Happy White History Month. I wanted to just put this out there again. Maybe somebody may think about it and know themselves and overcome. Because most people are never going to do it. A few will, a handful, but most people love their hell. They love their deception, and they love the hell that they live in. And they work overtime to stay in their hell, not to get out. And then there are a few who want out, and so they look for it, and they eventually find it. I want you to know that what you've been taught has been wrong. And if you examine yourself and know thyself, you will see that everything you've been taught has not helped you really at all. And then you made up excuses about your health. For example, a man or a woman who has returned to the Father should not have fear. God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and authority and of love and of a sound mind. So if you have fear, just know you're still of your father, the devil. I don't care how many Bibles you read, how many churches you go to. If you have jealousy and envy and strife and bitterness, loneliness and suicidal thoughts and all that, you're of your father, the devil. If you believe that Jesus is God, you're blind, you've been lied to. And just notice, believing that has not helped you at all. If you believe you had a free will, you've been lied to. Believing that you have a free will hasn't done anything for you, because if you had a free will, you would will yourself out of your hell, out of your misery. You would be free. You do not create thoughts. Never have, never will, never can. You have never made a decision in your whole entire life, and you never will. Because if you created your own thought, all of your thought would be beautiful thoughts for you. You would never bring misery ones that make you misery, right? Just those kind of things, how you've been lied to. One last, but not amongst many. You're not on your own. You cannot make yourself free. If you were able to make yourself free, you would be free. But you can't. Of yourself, you can do nothing, and of yourself, you know nothing. Just smoke on it. Let me go quickly to Mike. I'm being told he is ready. Mac, that he's ready. Mac, out of Texas. Let's try it again. Go ahead.
How you doing, Jesse? I hope you don't hang up on me, man.
Matt, if you speak that kind of language, I'm going to let you go. You can't control the show. If you have you have a question or comment, you need to get
I hope
right
I don't
to.
offend you then.
You have to
I
get.
do have comments.
Matt.
Yes, sir.
You need to get to your question or comment, and don't.
Okay, I don't want to disrespect the great black hope for poor disenfranchised white people, Jesse. I think you're
What
wrong.
do you mean by
poor?
poor disenfranchised white people?
Now you're going to interrupt me again, but it's your show.
You should have made the statement if you didn't want to be interrupted.
Yes,
what do you mean by that? And I don't know what you mean. So what do you mean by
what
poor,
I mean by that,
disenfranchised white people?
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Down. I'm not going to tell him to come. Jesse, what I mean by that is that I think you are good for a certain type of people, but I think you're played out. You see, I think you're right if we're going to be segregated. I'm a black man. I think all of you are crazy, but I have to feel and empathize for you because you're all segregated. You guys say black people are evil, white people say, but there's only you types of white people and you types of black people. You're segregated. You're right.
I don't
about
know what you
stereotypes.
mean. What you mean by segregated?
Segregated basically means separated. You're right only about ghetto blacks. And the poor white people, they've always been poor. The urchins on the street back in the 30s. But you didn't know because you were separated living on that slave plantation, Jesse.
Well, I didn't live on a slave plantation. What do you mean by
You're from the Peterson plantation, Jesse. Your people were owned. You said you weren't a product of slavery.
When you say I'm from the Peterson plantation, where'd you get that from?
Now, you want me to answer your questions before I finish? You can Wikipedia yourself, Jesse. Now, this is the thing.
Where'd you get that from that
separated.
I was on the Peterson plantation?
And also the information is all on the internet, and there's some also bad information.
There's no such thing that I'm aware of called Peterson Plantation. I forgot the name of the white people who owned the plantation I lived on, but it wasn't Peterson. It was Coma. That's right. I lived on a Coma plantation. And the area I lived in was called Coma Hill. What the? So I have no idea what Matt's tripping. But thank you, Mike. Mac, you're a nice guy. He's nice. Bill is from out of Detroit. He's been waiting a while. Bill, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. Happy White History Month.
Thank you, Bill. Happy White History Month to you. Amazing.
I just received yesterday in the mail the All Thoughts Are Lies T-shirt.
Nice. Did you like it?
And it is beautiful. Great quality. I know Anchor Baby Nick designed it, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Nice, man. Amazing. Happy White History Month.
So I want to, since it's Bible Thumping Thursday, this goes along with the shirt. Genesis 6:5. The Lord observed the extent of human wickedness on the earth, and he saw that everything he thought or imagined was consistently and totally evil. God saw that human evil was out of control. People thought evil, imagined evil. Evil, evil, evil from morning to night.
That's deep, Bill. That is amazing, and that is 100% true. And that's why I've been trying to encourage the people, you want to overcome evil, you got to overcome the thoughts. You got to overcome the imagination. You got to overcome anger. That's amazing, man.
When anyone asks me about the shirt, I just show them that, and I say, you want to discuss it anymore?
Amazing.
I thank you, Jesse.
I really appreciate this, Bill, and happy White History Month to you, and enjoy the shirt. I love that scripture. I do appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Amazing. Isn't that amazing? There's a line open, 888-7753-773. Let me go to first-time caller out of North Carolina, Keith. First-time caller, Keith. Keith, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Reverend Peterson. It's a pleasure and a blessing to talk to you.
Thank you much. You could just call me Jesse.
All right, Mr. Jesse. I'm a medically retired federal firefighter. I broke my back in a fire in 2010, and I had to have a 3-level fusion, which failed. And throughout the process, it led me into a heavy opiate addiction. All through, basically, my doctor became my drug dealer, and then that branched out to other people in my family. And when I seen it was happening to my wife, my prescription drugs were getting abused by me and then my wife, so I decided to kick all the prescription drugs, including 200 milligrams of methadone, and I kicked it cold turkey. But what did help to help me kind of wean off was one of the things you always bring up, and the reason for my call is marijuana helped me, and it still helps me. So I was wondering what your hang-up was on pot.
I have no hang-up with it at all, not one iota.
It's just like a joke thing.
Well, what it is, I try to encourage people they want to have by getting to know themselves, they will develop a clear mind. And in that clear mind, they will stop overreacting to anything. And instead of overreacting, to overcome. But when you don't have a clear mind, you're relying on something else, which is stopping you from overcoming.
I got you. I appreciate that. That'll help me in my mission. And one more thing, just real quick.
I'll let you ask me that, but let me just, don't forget what you want to ask. But let me ask, are you doing the silent prayer?
Me?
Yeah. You know about it?
No, I don't, sir.
I want you to continue to use your marijuana, but do the silent prayer video so you can deal with all things, including the physical pain, without overreacting to it. And great things can happen when you don't overreact.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take you up on that, and I'll watch it because I need it. And am I allowed to go to my next question?
Yes.
Okay, your biblical question for today. I've been wondering that since the day after Christmas 2019 when my best man in the faith decided to opt out of life the day after Christmas. So I've been asking myself that question too.
Amazing. Why do so many people commit suicide? And so right now you have no idea why they do it?
I have no idea why he did. He was one of the most solid people in the faith I knew, not just by talk but by walk. And I don't know what happened, but I have an idea, but I don't know exactly what brought him to that exact moment. And I've been running that around my head a lot. I grew up with suicidal ideation, and I don't know. That's a great question. I'm gonna pose that on my side of the media entertainment, so to say.
Right on. Have you ever, since you've been on Earth, have you ever considered suicide?
Yes, sir. Quite a lot.
And why did you do it? Why did you consider it?
Man, that's a loaded question. We don't have time on your show for that. But basically, I think it was just a bunch of things that added up. Like I was molested when I was younger, and I got into the black arts. Like my mom was, what air quotes, a witch, and I was involved with a lot of that stuff in Santeria. And then when I came to Christ in 2008, it kind of slowed down, but I still kind of had some of that. But now, after I had a seizure at Thanksgiving, what was that, 2 years ago? 3 years ago, I had a grand mal seizure. And when I came to and seeing the look on my wife and my two remaining kids, that pretty much solved me from wanting to check out, because it's selfish, it's abusive, and I guess I don't want to be a beta.
That's right. So you say you came to Christ. What does that mean, you came to Christ?
Well, my wife started taking my kids to church, and I don't know. I just kind of got tired of hearing all this stuff about the church, so I went, and we had a pastor that was an ex-Marine. And he was a great guy, and we discussed what redemption is, and forgiveness, and sanctification, all that jazz. And I knew he was reaching out my whole life and covered me my whole life. That I said, you know what, I want this relationship, And since then, I've been trying to put God first in everything, especially in marriage, and I guess that's what it means.
And how's it going?
For me, it's actually, I don't believe you have time for this, but 2010, when I broke my back, I was actually talking to my wife about going into full-time ministry, and she's like, no, that's a bad idea, don't do that. And then next thing I know, I break my back, and I've been taken out of the job I love, and I kind of fell away. I stayed in prayer. I'm one of those people that pray, not over every little thing, but if something comes up, I'll pray on it just silently as I go throughout my day. And I fell away, and then, what was it, about 6 months ago, I got this burning fire in my chest, this pull to get back into preaching and speaking, and he led me to a podcast, to start a podcast. So that's what I'm doing now. It's going good. We have a lot of things to work on as far as our marriage and things like that.
Why did you listen to your wife?
Listen to my wife on what?
When she told you before not to do that and you didn't do it, you were thinking about going into ministry, right? And she told you, no, don't do that.
Well, she was trying to not to I'm the type that if I don't know how to say it, I'm fast on the trigger. So if I think of something, I'm going to jump in both feet without really thinking of any repercussions or anything. And she sees the open picture, but when it comes down to it, I make the decisions for the family. And
but why did you listen to her about not doing your ministry thing when you first thought of doing it? Why did you listen to her and then you end up getting your back broken afterward? Whereas if you had not listened to her, you may not would have gotten your back broken because you would have gone on to something else. Why did you listen to her? Every time the man listens to the woman, he suffers.
It's the old Adam and Eve thing. Hindsight 2020, and mine's not too clear. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't solid enough. I don't know.
Do you still listen to her?
I wouldn't say I listen to my wife, but I do consider her input.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I like hot meals.
She's supposed to make you hot meals and clean your house and watch over your children and make some cool.
Yes, she does.
But you don't need to. But you don't take her advice on anything, though, right?
It depends.
So how much pain do you need before you stop listening to her?
I think I got my fill.
Do you have you forgiven your mother?
That I just had a episode about forgiveness, and I'm working on it. It's just she makes it difficult for certain situations.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I want to say yes, but there's like 6% that I'm still hanging on because she brings up stuff every time she visits. So I'm trying.
Have you forgiven your mother?
No.
How will God forgive you for resenting her if you don't forgive her for what she's done to you?
And that is what I'm working on.
When you say working on it, what is it that you're working on? There's nothing to work on. You just see that you resent her. Hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. I know you can't help yourself, and I'm wrong for resenting you. And don't ask for forgiveness, and God will forgive you. And then you'll be able to stop her from bringing her hell into your life. You'll be able to keep her away.
Gotcha.
But you don't need her to apologize. You don't need her to admit she was wrong. You are wrong for resenting her. Now you're an adult. You see that she couldn't help herself. She's filled with evil, and she has no love. And so God will forgive you, and He'll separate you from her. Then you start dealing with your wife in the right way, because the woman you're married to is your mother as well. You're attracted to what you hate.
Right.
And so,
I heard you speak on that.
And so, but there's nothing to work on. Just see that you resent her, and go and forgive her, because as long as you resent your mother, you're subject to your wife, and every time you listen to your wife, you're going to suffer even more so.
I got you. All right. It sounds like I got a lot more YouTube study on you to do there.
Well, go and forgive.
There's not many people, not many men around here like you, so it's kind of hard.
When God is with you, just go and forgive, and He will guide you. He will brighten up your footsteps, and you will see the way to walk.
Yes, sir. I will.
Okay,
and
so
I appreciate that.
And I recommend you do the silent prayer too. www.silentprayer. Do your little hooping and hollering, and when you're done hooping and hollering, praying to the devil, be still and know God.
Yes, sir. I thank you so much.
All right. I wish you well, man.
Yes, sir. God bless you, and I wish you all the best over there doing what you do. Keep spreading the good word.
I will. Happy White History Month, Keith.
Happy White History Month. Thank you, sir.
All right,
Bye-bye.
buddy. Bye. Amazing. I'm telling y'all, when y'all praying, doing all that hooping and hollering, praying, and please, Lord, help me. God, where is you? You praying to the devil. You're worshiping the devil and calling him God or Jesus. All that ain't necessary. It ain't necessary. You're praying to the devil, worshiping him with holy hands, dancing and carrying on to the devil. Let me go to Jason out of Buffalo, New York. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, man? I want to ask you, are you in hell?
I'm sorry?
Are you in hell? Because all you do is describe everything that's wrong with the world. And I don't see how somebody with perfect peace, I'm not talking about peaceful and happy things all the time. I don't think a person with peace would not be like so. I guess so. Everything that come out their mouth would be so like advantageous. Like they wouldn't talk about what they hate and dislike so much.
So you asked me, do I in hell?
I said, are you in hell?
No.
So why do you describe it like you are?
Because I know what hell is now, and people like you are in hell. Anyone that's into their imagination and have anger, have fear, and fear is hell.
Fear is hell.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say fear is hell. So like what going like so
anger is hell.
Like,
anyone that has anger don't have love. Come close to your phone, but anyone that has anger don't have love, and so they're in hell.
Okay, my next question is, so like when you
does
talk
that
about
make
like
sense?
you afraid
Before
of
you run to the next question, does that make sense?
That doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
Why? Because how you gonna tell somebody they're in hell?
I'm
like,
sorry?
How you gonna tell somebody that they are in hell? It's like you don't know people's circumstances. You don't know people. You don't know the individual. So how you just gonna make a blanket assumption that everybody is in hell that doesn't adhere to your with your philosophy, what you think?
I do know people, and I do know that anyone that has circumstances has hell. That's why they have circumstances.
Anybody that has circumstances have hell. So you saying like anybody. So like this could be like for anybody. So like say like a widow whose husband went off to war and died in war. And, like, the circumstances, like, she's in hell. Because her husband did a noble thing by going off to war and fighting for our country. So, like, she's going through hell. Like, so, like, how would you describe her hell? Like, what kind of hell is she going through?
Repeat that, Jason. I'm sorry. Repeat it for me.
Okay. A married, say a wife married to a soldier who went off to fight in the war, and the soldier died. And now she don't have no husband and stuff like that because your man did a noble thing. That's the greatest thing that you could do for this country is give your life for it. Now, describe the kind of hell that she's going through. Describe, because you say, like, people that, like, you say everybody's going through hell. Everybody has, like, you don't think she's mad at that situation that he went to, even though that she knows it's a noble thing that is like, it was
so
the right
you're asking
thing,
a whole bunch of questions in this. What's your direct question? Give me your direct question about that situation, that made up situation.
What you mean a direct question? My question is, do you think like the lady is in hell? Do you think like that's what you're saying? Like you saying people are in hell because of being like angry and stuff like that? You don't think she has some kind of resentment for like what happened to her husband, knowing the circumstances and stuff like that? You don't think she has some kind of like anger? You don't think like she has some kind of anger there? And now you're saying that she's in hell.
If I understand your question correctly, if she's not angry about her husband getting killed in the war, then she's not in hell. But if she's angry about it, she's in hell, which is not necessary because she can deal with it without being angry. Jason, thank you for your call, man. I got to take a break. Back in a moment. Short break. There's one line open. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Happy White History Month. Amazing. You can get shout outs done for specialized shout out, personal shout outs. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And don't forget, well, whatever it might be, birthday shout out, I'll do them for you. Birthday shout outs, encouragements, weddings, whatever the situation is. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And White History Month t-shirts. You can order them right now. And we have a limited supply of colors and sizes. So go to whitehistorymonth.store, whitehistorymonth.store. And don't forget, you can support us by going to cash.app at bondinfo.org. Cash.app at bondinfo. Sorry about that. Cash.app/bondjlp. /.app. Cash.app. I'm black. You're black. Cash.app/bondjlp. What the? In the first hour, in the beginning of the show, we talked about how it's pretty sad that the white men are now following the blacks. They're dancing and singing in commercials and carrying on, right? And that as a result, things are really getting bad. Now they have cocaine up in the White House, where Snoop Dogg said he had, according to a report, he smoked pot in the White House when Obama, black people were running the White House. And now the white people are following the blacks right into hell. And not all blacks, not all, but most, right into hell. And it's unfortunate. And I never imagined growing up, I never thought that white men, I understand the women, but I never thought that white men would become so weak. Because it took strength and wisdom and authority to discover and create the greatest country on this side of heaven. And the white men did. So I'm thinking, because it is White History Month, and because white people, maybe white men don't have fathers anymore in the home to be that example. Maybe the mother's ruling the white people home as well. And I know some cases they are. But I want to give you, the fathers want a hot meal. That's what Hake said. So they let the woman rule for the hot meal. What the? I want to just remind the white people that knew at one time but forgot, and then introduce strong white men to the young generation of white men that don't know. Maybe just don't know. But in the good old days, there were pioneers and trailblazing white men in the West. Really, it was amazing. I used to watch these cowboy shows, and it showed a lot of these things that I'm about to talk about. Then I get back to your calls and super chat. This is from Have Fun with History. First of all, the term pioneer or pioneers refer to the first individuals to establish in an undiscovered region, such as the American frontier. Man, just bring back memories of when I was growing up. Such as American frontier. To survive in the wilderness and provide for their families, they needed to be competent hunters, farmers, and builders. There was a time when white men were competent hunters, farmers, and builders. If you doubt me, watch some of those old TV shows. You see, it was enlightening, encouraging, and it was of love. And white men used to do that. Well, where is the white men now building and of good courage and hunters and farmers? Where are they now? They dancing on the TV with the blacks in the commercials. And they're not even dancing with white women in the commercial. They're dancing with black women or Mexicans or something. And once upon a time, because they were competent hunters, farmers, and builders, there was something called Homestead Act. This is from Have Fun with History. The Homestead Act allowed settlers to claim up to 160 acres of property for a modest price and a pledge to improve and use the land. Remember the good old days? Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Watch this from NBC.
In the decades after the Civil War, thousands of farmers moved west into the Great Plains, taking advantage of the cheap land provided by the Homestead Act. The act was signed by Abraham Lincoln in 1862 to encourage western migration. Under the act, settlers could receive title to 160 acres of western land if they were at least 21 years old, if they built a house at least 12 by 14 feet in size, and if they worked their land for 5 years.
The way the Homestead Act worked, you would go out to the land office in whatever region that you were planning to settle in, and you would pick your plot of land, and you would build your house, and you would begin to do the things that you needed to do to meet the criteria set up by the federal government.
By 1900, claims for over 80 million acres had been filed, creating more than 372,000 farms.
There were many people who benefited incredibly, who would never have had the access to land if it hadn't been for the Homestead Act.
But besides simply owning land, Western farmers had to survive the harsh conditions on the Great Plains in order to succeed. Many soon saw their dreams dashed.
Amazing. Now, those are the kind of white folks I know or grew up around and with. Where are those white men now? Why have you caved in your own country? Remember the good old days when boys were boys and men were men? And in all honesty, my grandfather and the older men were like that too. Down in Sweet Home, Alabama, they were builders, they were farmers, they led their wife and children and not follow. They were not afraid of mama. So I want to encourage you to have some grit and determination. And you'll make it in America. Go out there and either sink or swim. But you got to go do it. It's in you men to do it. It's a gift from God. I want to give you one quick earliest pioneer, a great guy by the name of Daniel Boone. I totally remember this guy watching the movies and things. Daniel Boone was white, and he was tough. This is from history.com. Daniel Boone gained fame from his trailblazing expedition through the Cumberland Gap, a path through the Appalachian Mountains. Boone had no proper education and received his first rifle at the age of 12. I received my first rifle at the age of 15. He receives his at the age of 12 and learned to hunt. Watch this from Smithsonian. Amazing.
In the early 18th century, the Allegheny Mountains, which stretch from northern Pennsylvania to southern Virginia, were the biggest obstacles to settlers trying to reach Kentucky and the West. But in 1750, an explorer named Dr. Thomas Walker discovered a narrow passageway through the forbidding Alleghenies, a notch between two mountains that's now known as the Cumberland Gap. Today, it lies near where the borders of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia all meet. In 1775, a wealthy businessman named Richard Henderson hired Daniel Boone to forge a trail through the Cumberland Gap. They started hacking their way across the mountains, creating a path that would later be known as the Wilderness Road. That path still exists today for those wanting to retrace the journey that thousands of early settlers first took to reach Kentucky. After 2 weeks, Boone and his men finally made it to the other side of the mountains and chose a spot for a new settlement. Soon, hundreds of pioneers were pouring through the Cumberland Gap, heading up the Wilderness Road and arriving in this frontier outpost. Boone stayed on to protect the settlers from Indian attacks, but one day while hunting, he himself was captured by members of the Shawnee. Held by the tribe's chief Blackfish, Boone quickly discovered that a Shawnee force was planning to attack the Boonesboro settlers. Winter turned to spring, and Boone was unable to warn his companions. Finally, in June, as the Shawnee made their final preparations to lay siege to the fort, Boone made a daring escape. Legend has it he crossed 160 miles of near impassable wilderness in just 4 days to reach Boonesboro before the Shawnee. When the Shawnee finally did attack, the settlers were well prepared and armed. For 10 days, they held their ground until the Shawnee finally gave up and retreated. He became a larger-than-life hero of the American frontier, leaping off cliffs in his coonskin cap to escape capture by native tribes and leading hopeful pioneers through dark forests to the light-filled bounty of the West.
Amazing. So, would you rather be that kind of man or a white man sitting around worried about somebody calling you racist? Somebody making you feel guilty about slavery you never had anything to do with, and they lying about what slavery was like anyway. Somebody afraid of taking your stuff. Those are the kind of men that founded and built America. While you're sitting back now worried about what people think about you. What the name calling. You're looking at the devil being jealous and envious. You're not getting anything done. You're afraid of what the old wife might think. She may not make me no breakfast if I tell her she got to obey. Those are the type of men that built America. Wikipedia reported that Boone was taken by the Shawnees in 1778 and adopted into the tribe, but he resigned and continued to help protect the Kentucky settlements. He also left due to the Shawnees, not Swanee, but Shawnee Indians, torturing and killing one of his sons. Oh, so now I got it. He also left due to the Shawnese Indian torturing and killing one of his sons. See, the Indian, they weren't doing nothing. Smoking pot and killing. One last quick example for you for now, this is White History Month. And men, this is encouraging you to wake up. And black men were the same way then. They wouldn't sit around talking about, Lord, I've been enslaved. My ancestor enslaved, and the white man and took my money. And Lord, I can't make it. Lord, what you gonna do? I need some reparation now, reparation forever. Somebody owe me something. Remember Lewis and Clark? Lewis and Clark. This is from history.com. The Lewis and Clark expedition began in 1804. Along the way, they confronted harsh weather, unforgiving terrains, injuries, starvation, diseases, and hostile Native American, meaning Indians. Watch this from biography.
Like Christopher Columbus before them, Lewis and Clark were literally stepping off the face of the earth. Vast expanses west of the Mississippi River were giant voids on the maps of North America.
We were now about to penetrate a country on which the foot of civilized man had never trodden. The good or evil it had in store for us was for experiment yet to determine. And these little vessels contained every article by which we were to expect to subsist or defend ourselves. I could but esteem this moment of my departure as among the most happy of my life. Captain Meriwether Lewis.
So dangerous was this enterprise that when word did not come back from them, when they had been gone for so long, everyone, from the president on down, assumed they had perished.
The Louisiana Territory, first controlled by Spain, then quietly traded to France in early 1803, was the land beyond the Mississippi River. The territory was huge. It sprawled north, south, and westward towards boundaries vaguely defined, covering a landmass of over 900,000 square miles. In December of 1803, Camp Wood was established across from St. Louis, Missouri. Here, the captains recruited soldiers, French boatmen, and hunters from Kentucky. They would become known as the Corps of Discovery.
They have a sense of history, they have a sense of drama, they have a sense of purpose.
Lewis and Clark took several days to carefully, painstakingly reconnoiter each one of the possible courses, each one of the possible channels. They were not about to leave this decision to luck or to chance.
It had been a year and a half and many days of deprivation and danger. On November 15th, the Corps of Discovery reached their goal, the glorious Pacific.
Men who understood the challenges, met those challenges, and did the best that they could.
Amazing. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Amazing. That's what a real education is. Going out and doing it for yourself. You ain't sitting around, Lord, what college am I going to go to? And then you go to college and now you're afraid to speak up because the black gonna burn down your school. You can marry a woman and she won't even change her last name. You can make it without all that mess. You can make it without an education. Get a real education. Get out and do it. Those men were not afraid of being called racist and worried about what someone think and all that mess. Pushing the baby stroller down the street with a little dog. White men, that's what it used to be. So let's get busy and make America great again. Stop dancing on these stupid commercials with these blacks, looking silly. Everything ain't a dance. 888, happy White History Month. If you didn't know that that's the way the white people were, now you do. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they call you racist now? 888-775-3773. Super chat. Super. Happy White History Month, folks.
Amazing. Sean put together amazing thing.
He did. My producer's all white, 100%. And all his whiteness coming out.
That was very interesting.
It was amazing.
Well, according to your Twitter poll, you put out a Twitter poll on is Irish white, since Sean is part Irish, you know.
Somebody jealous.
And you asked, is Irish white? I suppose I could put this screenshot in the folder. 78.1% said yes, it's white. So are you going to follow the crowd and say that Irish is white? 7.4% said no. 11% said sometimes they're white. 3.5% said not sure.
Well, I may not know my Irish, but I know Sean is white.
All right.
I know Sean, and Sean is white.
We'll put up a screenshot of him and note that he's Irish, and then we'll put it up another poll.
Okay.
Is Sean, my producer, white?
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
After all, it is White History Month.
Indeed.
Nice. Super chat.
Gilco on Rumble yesterday with a Rumble rant says, thank you for playing the Jordan Peterson clip and discussing. When I watched it, it truly hit home. I could see at points that needed to be shown to me in my present.
Nice. Amazing. Thank you.
Mike Young on Streamlabs. That's JesseLeePeterson.live. Jesse, hey Jesse, do you think that women who are a feminist think that it's all about equal rights? And also, do you believe that they had a bad relationship with their father while growing up as a little girl during childhood? Thanks, Mike Young. Love your show.
Absolutely, Mike. Oh, you're absolutely right, man. Thank you. Amazing.
On D-Live, Evgeny Crosby, who tends to get me in trouble with a diamond on DLive.tv/Jesse Lee Peterson. Snow Biden was getting high off his own supply. Emoji. Everybody committing suicide except me. What the?
They said that they weren't around at the time.
Yeah, they don't know who
Yeah,
it
they don't
was.
know who
We
it was.
disavow for the show.
Right.
But plus they
Evgeny
don't
Crosby
know.
getting me in trouble again.
Plus they said they don't know who did it right now anyway.
Yeah.
They're doing an investigation on
Could
it.
have been somebody touring the White House.
Right. Thank you.
Birdie. Oh, let me read the other one. He said, baby Jessica's daddy gave a diamond and said, everybody committing suicide except me. What the?
What's up, baby? Jessica's daddy. Thank you.
And
let's take a break.
Nice.
We'll finish on the other side of this break. One more hour to go.
Run from evil within
Thank you
yourself
all.
or outside of yourself. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
It's hot out, and it's hot in here. I would ask to turn on the AC, but I'm going to get out of here in 5. The hottest day on record globally happened this week, by the way. And the State Department's turning into the inefficient and unhelpful DMV and post office. What a mess. Your passports are on major delay, I guess, something like that. And a Chinese singer killed herself. I had a bunch of her songs. I guess she was in a lot of pain, physical pain. And Coke at the White House, not Donald J. Trump's Diet Coke out of a glass bottle. No sirree, Bob. It was cocaine Coke, allegedly. But don't know who done it. This is the end of Hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday, July 6th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for Hour 3, last hour of Bible Thumper Thursday is coming right up. There is one line open. You can call in if you like. But first, Hake news, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. And after the Hake Report, American Anchor Baby on both YouTube and Rumble. Make sure you're following both places. He also has a podcast done via Substack and Spotify. Nice. Call Me Nonsense Network. CNN reports the hottest day on record globally, if you're a ball-tard, happened this week, which I am. Some scientists believe it could have been the hottest day on Earth in 125,000 years, if you believe the Earth is that old. The average worldwide temperature on Tuesday reached 17.18 degrees Celsius, whatever that is, and which is about 62.9 degrees Fahrenheit, which is normal people understanding of temperature, breaking the record of 17.01 degrees Celsius, 62.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So 0.3 degrees Fahrenheit difference, huh? Set just a day earlier. Oh, the previous highest global temperature in mid-August 2016. Nice. The low 60s may not sound very hot to millions of Americans sweating through the summer heat wave. The figure is almost a full degree Celsius centigrade above the average temperature between 1979 and 2000. That's when the Ice Age was coming, right? And represents a new indicator that Earth's climate is heating up faster than anticipated. So say meteorologists, who are always accurate with their weather predictions and climate predictions, of course. And the State Department turning into the DMV, well, that's my understanding of it. They say it's not expecting to reduce passport processing times to pre-scamdemic levels until the end of the year. This comes as many frustrated travelers have had their summer plans disrupted by having to factor in waiting months to get a new passport before going abroad. In March, the agency increased the processing time for new passports to 10 to 13 weeks for routine processing and 7 to 9 weeks for expedited, quote-unquote, processing, which costs an additional $60. They're fleecing you. The wait time before the scamdemic was 2 to 3 weeks before expedited cases and 6 to 8 weeks for routine passport applications. These lazy, trifling government employees, am I right? Shout out to the government employees. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, oh, that guy, told Congress earlier this year that the department is getting 500,000 applications a week for passports, which is around 40% more applicants this year than last year. That's because the sleepy Biden administration and his ilk and the people who voted for him and the people who hate Trump and white people, they're making it inhospitable to be in America. They want to get out. Aw, this Chinese singer killed herself. Hong Kong-born singer and actress Coco Lee. Ever heard of her? I have a bunch of her songs on my iTunes from one of my Chinese friends, former friends, whose career included dozens of successful albums, movies, TV shows. She died Wednesday, her sisters announced. She was 48 years old. She was a Mulan voice actress. Did you know that? She attempted to take her life on Sunday, could not be revived from a coma, her sisters said, sparking shock and grief on the internet. And they gave the 988 suicide and crisis lifeline, but just call the JLP show or call Bond for counseling. 1-800-411-BOND, rebuildingtheman.com/counseling. And the White House press secretary, KJP, said, I'm not going to speculate on who it was who brought the coke to the White House, cocaine. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question: why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? Amazing question, huh? You need to get to know yourself. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. You can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad. If you're running about, working out, whatever you might be doing, making breakfast, lunch, or dinner, wherever you might be in the world, you can call the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us, Jesse Lee Peterson, on Instagram and JLP Talk on Twitter. Ring the bell, hit the like button, and blah, blah, blah. It's Thursday, the last hour of the show today. It is still Bible Thumper Thursday.
Okay, are y'all ready for a little church today? My next guest is a 5-year-old preacher who went viral when his mom captured him baptizing his toy in the bathtub.
For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believe in him shall not perish, and they shall not die, but have everlasting life.
And I see here, it seems like these kids are just regurgitating Bible verses.
You will emerge from that as an atheist. You need to get your vaccination. I got my booster. I'm telling you again, as your leader and pastor, you want to be safe and healthy. You want to get boosted in Jesus' name.
It's a disgrace. God is non-binary. God is queer. God is autistic.
Let me hear you speak in tongue.
Well, I know what it means, but it's just hard to understand. But you got to realize that the prophets were out there saying, "Thus saith the Lord," and they didn't even know who it was. They didn't understand what they were saying.
What a mess. A mess. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. What I want to do is, it's Bible Thumper Thursday, and we have a little bit more time with the Bible Thumpers on Thursdays, though we do it all things, but we have a little bit more. But Thursday set aside for that. I want to go to Mackenzie out of Florida, first-time caller. Mackenzie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mackenzie. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I wanted to answer your biblical question, if I may.
Why do so many people commit suicide?
And before I answer, if I may, I wanted to add that my husband committed suicide about 23 years ago. So I was eager to answer this, and my answer would be because of false idols.
Because of false idols. Give me an example.
For putting your faith in something outside of God. I felt like in my particular situation, he had put too much faith in me.
Very interesting. Did you try to tell him that before he committed suicide, he was putting too much faith in you?
No, but I felt that. So he dealt with my reaction to it, which was a lot of anger.
Amazing. That's deep. And why didn't you tell him that?
I didn't know.
Oh, I see. I understand.
I honestly, this was about 23 years ago. I didn't realize more of the situation until probably much more recently.
Yeah. How did he commit suicide?
He hung himself.
Whoa. Was he black?
He was half white and half Mexican.
Oh, man.
Yes, we had our daughter young when I got pregnant at 18 and had her at 19. And then we got married when we were 20.
Wow. And did that have an impact on you when he committed suicide?
Oh, I mean, most definitely. I felt guilty. I felt lonely. I felt lost. I definitely had put my faith in him in some ways as well.
Yeah.
So I was lost. We came from, just like what you talk about, we came from families where we both had a lot of anger with our mothers and did not have our fathers in our life.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you still feel all those things today?
No.
Oh, good.
I started speaking the truth probably about, how old am I, 46 I'm about to turn, when I was about 30, I don't remember exactly, 33, 35. I mean, I had always been looking, but I started to dive more into myself and what was going on with me when I was probably in my early 30s. I found you about a decade ago.
Oh, okay.
So this has definitely been a process.
Right on. Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes.
How did that go? Do you remember what it was like when you went to her?
Honestly, it was empowering because to kind of answer your question properly, we both came from troubled families, and after the suicide, actually right before the suicide, I went to college and did all the things that I thought that I was supposed to do to pull myself up out of my situation, and I was probably overly encouraging him to do the same thing. So in many ways, when I had gotten into my 20s, when I graduated, I looked like I had fixed a lot of the issues that we were exhibiting when we were younger, partying, doing drugs, getting arrested, just a lot of rebellion and things that we did in our teenage years together. So it looked very deceiving that things were going very well. And then I go through a suicide. I'm still trying to hold it together. And then as I got into my mid-30s, I realized people praised me for graduating. People praised me for, paying my bills and taking care of my daughter and these things. But I did not feel strong. I had no self-control. I would get upset. I would lose my my emotions when I would speak with people, particularly to certain people. So to answer your question, when I felt, I suppose, if that's the answer to your question, when I forgave my mother was confidence, authority, and self-control again.
Right on.
The first time, actually.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie, amazing call, and stay with it, stay with it. You haven't seen anything yet, and I will put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you so much.
Yes, I love you, Jesse. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. I love you back. Thank you.
All right. Good deal.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Amazing. See, ladies, it's for all. All who want to return to the Father. You must go and forgive. Forgive your mama. Do you know that most people didn't know they had to forgive their mama? Satan hid in mama and disguised himself as the good one. 888-775-3773. Let me go to first-time caller Jason out of Missouri. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, what's up?
All is well, Jason. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Happy White History Month.
Oh, yeah. Happy White History Month. Mackenzie, happy White History Month. I forgot to mention.
Hey, so I've been watching you last month, maybe. I just don't believe in God or Christ. Is probably, it just doesn't make sense to me. Is kind of the main, like a lot of stuff I believe from growing up and stuff. I know you should love your neighbor and everything, but I don't know. It's hard for me to just, I feel like it's almost arrogant to say that you know something like that, you know?
And why do you feel that way?
Because how can you? You know, it's just it's just such a crazy world. I can't just to make it to feel like it's such a simple thing. Just one man or character or God behind it all. I can't. It doesn't make any sense to me, I guess.
And in all honesty, 98.5% of the people who say they believe in God, they do not believe in Him.
Yeah.
That's why they're still miserable. They're lying. They believe in the devil and they're calling him God.
I feel like that with my parents, like my father. He struggles a lot with anger, you know, and he's always been openly a Christian man and tries to teach me the Word of God and everything. But I feel like I don't know if he really trusts the Lord either.
And your mother, so your mother and your father are Christians?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And so you have no idea, you might have an idea, but you have no idea how fortunate you are to know that you don't believe in God. Because 95% of the people think that they do believe in God, and they're believing right into the devil. They're living in misery. They're living in hell.
Yeah.
And
for sure, it's the devil in disguise if it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And so, did you have a question or anything?
I don't know. I guess just curious if you just had a response towards. I don't know how. What do you think would help me find God and believe in Him?
By knowing that you don't believe in Him, instead of being deceived by evil, that you do believe in Him. The fact that you know you don't is the beginning of believing. And what I would recommend, without trying to figure God out or come up with some idea about Him, because all ideas about God is evil. They're from the devil. So what I would recommend, how old are you, Jason?
I'm 26.
Have you heard me say, go and forgive your mother and your father?
Yes.
Have you done that?
I have not. I'm a little worried that it won't be the right apology if I haven't found God, perhaps.
You won't be able to find God until you forgive. And you don't need to find God. He's not lost. And nor are you. You just need to forgive so you can get to know Him.
Okay.
And how do you think it's a good idea to resent your parents?
Of course not. No.
And so you know that you're wrong for doing that. And knowing that you're wrong for why is it wrong to resent them?
If you resent them, then you're going to resent everything in life. It's really, yeah.
Absolutely. Because when you resent, you're judging. And when you're judging, you end up judging yourself. What you do to others, you're doing it to yourself. And so knowing that, why haven't you gone and forgiven them?
I I mean, I hadn't, and I still haven't. I just didn't even realize I needed to until I started listening to you.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess I'm just like, it might seem, I don't know. It might be weird, like with my mom. I've never felt like I've ever actually resented her, I guess. So it might seem out of nowhere or out of pocket and maybe make things weird in our relationship almost. I don't know.
So you do see for yourself that you do have some anger toward her?
I did. I think right now I don't, though. But I never apologized for.
And how would
I'd say that was...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish your point.
And maybe with my father as well. As I listen to you more, I realize how that if I do not forgive him, like I know I should not hold any resentment towards him at all. You know.
And what do you think would happen if you went and forgave your mother?
I don't know. I'd probably feel better. At least, well, you seem to know that it would definitely help me out and help her out too. It'd be good for my family, really.
It might help her. It might not. She might not be. She may love the hell she live in, but at least you would go free and let her live in her hell.
Okay.
You said that it might change the relationship. Something about the relationship might be a little weird.
I don't think it'll change or make it weird. I just think maybe in that moment she'll just think I'm like being silly or crazy kind of thing.
Do you care what she think?
I guess I do, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I want her to be happy, I guess.
Why?
Because I love her.
If you loved her, you would go and forgive her. You don't love her.
I would. Yeah, you're right.
You call it hate love. You don't love her. If you love her, you would go and forgive her.
You're right, Jesse.
Do you still live with her?
No.
Oh, good.
I live on my own with my brother.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long you've been listening, but if she apologized, fine. If she try to make a joke of it, fine. If she get angry, fine. If she fall out and die, fine. You would go free, and she would have her own hell. It would no longer be your hell. Because if you don't forgive her, every woman you get involved with will be mama. You're attracted to the spirit that you hate, and you'll become an angry little boy like your daddy is with your mama.
Okay. How should I word something like that?
Hey, mama, I've been resenting you, and I'm sorry. I realize now you couldn't help yourself. I'm sorry for resenting you.
Okay. Okay.
And
I'll do that with my father as well, for sure.
Absolutely. Ask your father, why didn't he forget? Why didn't he protect you from her?
Okay.
And listen to what he said, and you'll see he's afraid of it. That's your mama. I know how. You know how your mama is. Yeah. He'll make up all cowardly excuses.
Okay. I feel like he'll be more confused by the question almost.
But how do you know what's going to happen before you do it?
Well, I don't know. I said I feel, I guess.
And all feelings are from where?
They're from the devil.
I rest my case.
Yep.
All thoughts are all lies all the time. You don't know what will happen. Have a wait and see. No matter how they acted yesterday, that doesn't mean they're going to be that way today or when you forgive them. And they might, but if they do, that's on them. It's not on you. It's time for you to grow up And then you would love them with perfect love, and you will grow into manhood. The Spirit of truth, the Spirit of God will cause you to grow into manhood.
Okay.
And tell your brother he needs to forgive him too, because he's all messed up as well.
Yeah, I got 4 brothers.
They all screwed up.
All right.
Because
I'll try to. I'll get them. I'll start showing them you and stuff, and I'll try to get them on board here.
Because they all came from the same evil spirit, which is of your mother.
Yep. It's so weird for me to say that my mom is an evil spirit. That's such a, that's like against everything you grow up with. Or at least I feel like I did, and a lot of people did.
Yeah.
So it's such a crazy idea.
Every human being that comes through the woman, no matter they're male or female or hermaphrodite, it's the same spirit.
Okay.
There's not one that don't have to, if they want to be free, they must be born again of the Spirit, meaning to return to their earthly father by forgiving him. He couldn't help himself either. He was married to the devil. Your mama is the devil.
Okay. I understand, Jesse.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I'm not.
And why not?
I just, I don't know. I guess I didn't feel like I needed it. I don't know. And I'm not particularly upset or like sad in my life currently, I guess. So I just.
But you scared. You have fear.
I sure do.
Everyone who has anger has fear.
That is very true.
And that came from your mama. That's from resenting her. Once you forgive her, that will disappear.
Okay. For sure.
And amazing. That's what's wrong with the black. That's what's wrong with the blacks, the whites, the Hispanics, the Chinese, the Philippines, the Indians, the Mexicans, the Africans, and whatever. It's the same spirit around the world.
Yeah. I always like tell myself that like religion is kind of like was just like a way that's like controls people, not like in like a bad way, but it makes people function better kind of thing. And it's not really, it's like a tool almost. Cause without religion, most people are aimless. So I don't know, like why, I guess one question that always bothers, like why did God choose to reveal himself only to like Israel? You know, why did he have to, why did he have to leave everybody else out and not give them love, you know?
Good question. Number one, religious people are aimless people too. They're no different than secular people. Look at your parent, for example. They're religious people, but they're aimless people. They know the word, but they're still aimless people because they don't know God.
Okay. To me, they seem aim like they are aims, I guess.
No, they're aimless. That's why they hate one another.
Okay.
And what did you say about God and Israel?
Just God chose to only reveal himself to the Israelites, and it took him a while to send his son, to send Jesus as well. I don't know, just so many people were kind of left out, and that's really sad. And it's just weird to me why God would do that.
And why is that sad?
Well, if he is the one and he's the answer to, and he's one who will save us all. The fact that he chose not to save those people, so many people, I don't know. It seems, something about it seems weird to me. It seems like it's man-made, like every other religion.
Religion is man-made.
Yes.
That's why God said, especially in the New Testament, those that worship or want to be a part of Him, they must be of the Spirit. Worship Him in spirit means live and present with Him. Does anything I say make sense to you at all, or have said?
It makes sense, but I feel like sometimes the language you use, like you say, you try to just make it distinct that it's not a religion, what you're talking about, or I don't know. It almost feels like word games, I guess.
You say I make it think that it's not a religion?
Yeah, that or Christ is not, or you're saying that, and you said that people that don't follow the Lord are aimless. And I think that's wrong. I think some people do have aim that don't follow the Lord. And it's just like you want them to aim towards what you want, kind of thing. I don't mean to be aggressive.
No, I know what you're saying. Don't worry about being aggressive. I'm black. Be aggressive.
Come on, man.
What I want to tell you, so some of the things I say make sense to you, right?
Yes, sir, for sure.
And why do you think some of the things I say make sense?
Because I don't know. It feels right. It's when I listen to you, I feel more at peace than I almost ever do. I don't know. You're very consistent, and you're very confident. You're very respectful and loving towards everybody you speak to, and that really, I don't know, that shows a lot, and really, it's starting to give me a better perspective of what it truly means to be a Christian.
May I tell you why that makes sense to you? The real reason?
Yeah.
Is God is revealing Himself to you. The reason it makes a little sense is because He is enlightening you. He's in you, and He is allowing you to see the truth. I can't make you see it. You can't make you see it. No thing, no human being. But that's God right there that is allowing you to see. And if you stay with seeing, you're going to overcome darkness completely, and you'll be the light. You'll be of the light.
Okay.
That's why it makes sense. You are Israel. Israel is not, I know there's a place called Israel, but Israel is in you. And it's nothing like what you've been taught about Israel. You've been taught to hate Israel, but Israel is you. It's not a place, it's a spirit that's inside of you.
Okay.
But you've been lied to about everything, so you're looking outside rather than looking within, and that's why you're not really seeing the real reality of what's going on. You're seeing an illusion.
Okay. I understand. Yeah. I guess like the...
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on,
okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me take a quick break. I'll come back to that. We'll finish that. And more of your calls and super chats. Back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that
if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true. It's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father.
Okay, welcome back. 888-7753-773. I want to, I have some biblical questions and questions to ask the anchor baby, and I want Hake to come in with him so Hake can be kind of the referee between us. All right. Yes. What? The Hake Report coming up at 9. The Hake Report The Hake Report at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake Report. Amazing. And from 9 to 11. And then at 12 noon, the Anchor Baby Show. The Anchor Baby Show. And to get your Super Chats read out, this is to the Super Chatters. Read loud. You got to do something. Super Chatter, donate and have your comments read out loud. Go to JesseLeePeterson.live and buy me a coffee.com/JLP Talk. Buy me a coffee.com/JLP Talk. Let me just finish up with Jason, the first time call out of Missouri. Jason.
Hey, Jesse.
So you realize that hopefully that the things you've been taught about everything has just been a lie. It's been an illusion. You've been set up.
Okay, I understand that. I don't think it's going to sink in today, maybe right now, but I understand what you're saying.
And it's God that is allowing you to see that some of the things I'm saying make sense. And it's not you, it's not me, it's the spirit of love, the spirit of the Father inside of you. And once you go and forgive, that light is going to get a little brighter and a little brighter, and then you do the silent prayer so he can bring you out of thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. The light going to get bright, and you will have a clear mind.
Okay. I did have one or two questions just regarding... I feel like, you know how it is. Christians are all over the place with the Bible and how to interpret it.
Right.
Do you believe that if I don't find God, then I will die, go to hell, and burn for eternity or whatever? There
is no such thing as death. Death is just a word. The only thing that needs to leave you is this false life that you have, the thoughts and emotions, which is of evil. When you die from that, when you die from thoughts, ideas, you shall never die, because it's not you dying, it's the not you that's dying. There's no such thing as death.
Okay, but I guess...
And the Christians that believe they're going to hell, well, they don't know they're already in hell. The misery that they have, the fear, the anger, the doubt, the loneliness, the HTD, PhD, STD, the thoughts are all lies. They're already in hell. They think they're going to hell, but they're already in hell right here on earth.
Okay, I understand. That answers my question for sure. Okay. That was really it, I guess. In terms of my question, I can't think of another right now.
You're doing fine, man. You know that you don't believe, and you're blessed because those who think they believe are cursed, and they call it a blessing. So just wish them well, though. Wish them well. They can't see. They can't help it. The same spirit that's driving your mother and driving you until you forgive, it's the same spirit that the Christians have. All in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do the silent prayer and let me know how things go.
For sure. Yeah, do you think, I'm interested in, I'm probably going to try to read the Bible more. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, read it. But when you read it, watch how the devil is going to be interpreted. He's going to tell you what it means in your head. Let that pass. The spirit of truth will reveal to you what you read. But just read it, put it away, and don't believe anything the thoughts are telling you about it.
Okay, just read it and
put it away and go your way.
Okay.
And whatever the thoughts tell you it means or it's saying, don't believe it.
Okay. What version of the Bible would you recommend?
What's the name of the Bible I have? What?
New Jerusalem?
What?
Is it the New Jerusalem?
And that's what I have. Hake.
James would know.
Yeah, Hake know everything. Yes, the New Jerusalem.
The New Jerusalem. Okay. Yeah, but do you think like King James Version is fine too, or something?
And the King James is fine, but New Jerusalem is laid out a little more clear and simpler, and it doesn't have a lot of those these and thous and y'all and dog and my important today.
I kind of like the Old English and stuff, though. It's like.
Well, then read it. If you like it, read it. It may be easier for you. I'm black and slow.
Okay.
And Hake is telling me that he found the New Jerusalem on Catholic.org.
Catholic.org? Okay.
Yeah, but if you want to read the King James because you like that language, then you'll be fine with it.
Okay. You're not a Catholic, are you?
No way, Jose.
Okay, thank God. Okay.
No way, Jose. All right.
All right.
Let me know how it goes.
Hey, for sure, Jesse. I really appreciate you taking my call and everything. What you're doing is truly amazing.
Amazing. And happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month.
Amazing. Take care, man. Let me know how it goes.
You too. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. Amazing. So listen, real fast, I have a couple of questions for the anchor baby. And Sean is here to referee, right?
That's right.
Okay. So explain the game.
So this is called the Don't Laugh Challenge. I'm sure some people have seen some videos online where
you laugh, you lose.
Yeah, you laugh, you lose.
Oh.
So people sit across the table from one another and they tell jokes and they tell them with a straight face, and the other person, if they crack a smile or if they laugh, they lose. So if you make Nick laugh, you get a point. And if Nick makes you laugh, Nick gets a point.
Interesting. Okay.
And so you guys aren't allowed to, straight face, you're not allowed to laugh. Me and Hassan are allowed to laugh.
Okay.
Do I get a grace period after? Like after that challenge? No, anyways, whatever.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Allowed to relax and laugh a little bit?
Yeah.
You're the contestant. You can't make no rules.
Right, I'll determine.
We got some, you gave us, I don't know what he's going to tell me.
No,
you don't.
And he doesn't know what jokes.
Right, I gave you guys 6 or 7 jokes.
Okay.
Am I allowed to freestyle a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will determine the grace period.
How do you make a tissue dance?
How now? How do you make a tissue dance?
Yeah, how do you make a tissue dance?
I don't know.
You put a little booger in it.
Point for Nick.
Oh, I ain't supposed to laugh my own
No.
joke?
That didn't count. That didn't count. That was the first one.
All
That was the
right,
first
fine,
one.
Fine.
Okay.
All right, okay. What does a sprinter eat before race day?
Racism.
It's supposed to be my joke. Nothing. They fast.
Oh. My friends were...
You almost got me on my turn.
My friend was showing me his tool shed, and he pointed to the ladder, and he says that's my step ladder, he said. I never knew my ladder was a ladder. I got it.
We all lost that one.
I never knew my
Okay.
real ladder.
Oh, man. All right, good one. Okay. My son asked me what it was like to be married. So I told him to leave me alone. And then when he did, I asked him, why are you ignoring me?
And I'm supposed to answer that?
No.
That was the punchline.
Oh, I got it. Oh, how long did Cain hate his brother? How long did Cain hate his brother?
How long?
As long as he was able.
No, not valid. Mm-mm. All right, I got one. I have an answer for the biblical question. Why did colored girls consider suicide?
Because the rainbow wasn't enough.
That was my punchline.
Oh. I was trying to organize a hide and seek tournament, but good players are hard to find.
Oh, dang. That counts too?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Roses are gray. Violets are gray. Tulips are gray. Because I am a dog.
That's for sure. I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me.
Oh, come on. I got you. When I was a kid, you gotta look at me. It's comedic timing. Okay. When I was a kid, I walked in on my parents. It was the most embarrassing 30 minutes of my life.
Why'd you stay so long?
Nice.
I only knew 25. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why.
No.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. Jesse, take everything you know about money, okay? And throw it out the window. Okay? Have you done it?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you about this new invention I created called money.
You picked it up outside the window?
Oh, man.
One last for me. Why did this is a question. Okay. Why did the old man fall into the well?
Why?
Because he couldn't see that well.
No. Not right. Not fair.
Yes.
You gave him the dad jokes on steroids.
Yep. It's White History Month.
Huh?
It's White History Month?
Yeah, what's up?
I can't hear you.
But did you went down?
Heard it.
Fire?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, what you into? I do. Amazing. Thank you guys.
Yeah, you got it's just a little a little.
I'm gonna give the win.
That was speaking in
I'm gonna
tongues.
give the win to Jesse.
Amazing. Thank you.
Right on.
What was the score?
Yeah, what was the score? You were keeping score.
Jesse won. Nick
That's all-
0.
That's all you need to know.
Whatever.
Anthony is out of Nevada. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Anthony?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Anthony. Hey, Anthony.
How you doing?
All is well, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. You there? You there?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I think I told him that I wanted to speak on racism.
On slavery. You like slavery.
Not that I like it, but I think that it has unnecessary means. Like, we have far too many lazy people that don't want to do nothing. And if I understand the Bible a little bit, I probably don't, but if you don't work, you don't eat.
Right.
Did slaves come from lazy people?
Well, it didn't come from lazy people in the beginning, but the people became lazy after slavery because they didn't want to do for themselves.
Nice. So if they still don't want to do for themselves, why can't we bring it back?
We can, but the people are afraid to. But what would happen even more for them is if they didn't. You know how they feed the hunger and all that kind of stuff. If they were cut that out, then the people would have to get up and work and do for themselves. But because they know they don't have to, they are not making any effort to do it at all. Thank you, Anthony. I totally appreciate it. I'm running out of time here. Let me go to Abimael out of Puerto Rico. Abimael, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Just a quick comment. I think it was the third last caller speaking about religion. They talked on the topic of religion.
Yes.
And something came to my mind that I had learned when I was about 9 or 10 years old when it came to the etymology or the root of the word religion. It means, in the Old Latin, which used to be the original language of the Romans, it means to bind or to reunite. So I think this idea of forgiveness of the father and mother to try to bring us back to the Father is, at its core, true religion. It is the actual only kind of religion, this thing that God uses to try to bring us to Him.
Yep, absolutely, man. A return to the Father. There will become a day when I return to the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. Because the one primary problem is that they have been turned away from the Father with anger. Absolutely.
All right. All right, take care, Jesse.
All right, thank you, buddy. That's deep. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me go quickly to a first-time caller, Victor, out of California. Victor, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
First, I'd like to for your show and for bringing light into these times of darkness and confusion.
Yes.
My question is, how can a man live without fear? I was watching a short, and you were mentioning it on that video. So how can a man live without fear in these times?
Overcome anger and thoughts.
Anger and what?
Thoughts, imagination.
Okay.
Have you forgiven your mother?
She passed away a while back, but no, I never. I grew up with my grandparents.
Well, forgive them. Forgive your grandmother and your grandfather, but especially your grandmother, and just realize your mother could not help herself. And when you realize that, God will forgive you and set you free.
Amen. Amen.
And
I believe that.
when anger disappears, so will fear.
Understood.
And do the silent
sir.
prayer too, Victor. Have you done the silent prayer?
No. What is that?
Go to www.silentprayer.video. And I want you to start doing that so God can bring you out of thoughts, out of your imagination, and make you free.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll check it out.
All right, bud. Let me know how it goes, all right?
Thank you, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Super chat. Super.
Yes, sir. On Streamlabs.
That was a fun game with that my producer gave us.
That was. I would have lost
John.
horribly. I was over here dying laughing.
Amazing. Super chat.
On Streamlabs from Riley JM. Happy White History Month. This month makes me want to go watch the entire Little House on the Prairie series.
There you go. Happy White History Month. That is a good idea. Let me just mention, remember I told you about my Trump watch? Can you zoom it in? My Great White Hope watch. And I told you that what's the name gave it to me, but he didn't. He gave me something else. This is from my friend Ed. Ed, thank you for this amazing Great White Hope watch. Isn't that amazing? It's beautiful.
Wow.
Nice, huh? Thank you, Ed. It was the wrong name. Nice. Thank you. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, it wasn't Matthew. It was Ed.
Right on.
Yeah, Matthew gave me an amazing gift as well. Really nice. But Ed gave me this for birthday.
It's an attractive watch.
It is.
CC says on Streamlabs, good day. What is your thought on Greek letter organizations or fraternities and sororities? Isn't that of the devil?
Repeat that.
What's your thought on Greek letter organizations such as Alpha Chi, Chi, Pi, something like that?
Those college things?
Yeah.
What's my thought?
Uh-huh.
Insane.
Fraternities, sororities.
Yeah.
Isn't that of the devil?
Yeah. It is. It's supposed to be fun and games.
Uh-huh.
But the way they treat you ain't no fun and ain't no game. Thank you.
Birdie Bound Brian says, everybody wants the light, but don't nobody want to take the heat. But I do. Yeah, buddy.
Right on.
The new Nate H says, oh, this is from yesterday.
Thank you.
He says with a diamond, ask Sneeko if getting blank is truth or alpha.
Amazing. Thank you.
Wrinkle Hands Bing Bong with a diamond says, shout out to Bludgeoner and Cradle to Grave No Fear, heart-filled face emoji.
Thank you. Shout out.
From the Bond Archive Sunday service premiere that came out yesterday evening, Mario Uvaldo says, Jesse and crew, y'all are amazing. Keep up the good work. Much love. July just feels white. Time to celebrate. Chink. Little champagne glass.
July just feels white.
Martinelli's sparkling apple cider non-alcoholic glass chinking.
Nice.
Clinking.
Nice.
From buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Just Jen bought 25 coffees and said, thank you for P-wording off liberals who've been brainwashed.
Thank you. Amazing. Buy me a coffee.
Everything is upside down. Bought a couple of coffees. I only have time to read one, I guess. For the super chats on the show, hey, Jesse, Jesus was monk. Not one single female received the Holy Spirit in the scriptures, and not one single angel was female. What is God telling us? Apologies, Hake, for all the negatives.
He's telling the men to return to their natural state of order of being so they can bring back love into the world. Men are the light of the world, salt of the earth. Thank you.
And he bought another coffee answering the biblical question, but we'll have to read it tomorrow with other biblical question responses and other super chats.
Okay.
Did we open the treasure chest?
Oh, the treasure chest is now open on D-Line.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yep.
Tomorrow, when we start out, folks, we're going to start out with the super chats and treasure chests and all that stuff, all right? I am just so out of time today. Tomorrow is Open Line Friday. So call me back tomorrow for the caller. JC, Keon, a first-time call out of Ohio. Michael out of Utah. Michael out of Los Angeles. And somebody just hung up. Become your own man. Become your own woman. Go and forgive mama. Forgive daddy. Do the silent prayer so you can come out of the thoughts. All right? Hake is coming up now. And at 12, American Anchor Baby. Have a good day, folks. Find a way. Find a way.
You must know that so you get something went wrong, but check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understanding to lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa. Know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Like my cousin, sent me you, and I thank him for that. It was more of a, he thinks the whole everything's a joke. That just adds a little spice to it. But in the heart of what you're saying, there is real things going on. And people want to overlook that. And I'm telling you, Mr. Peterson, I'm not one of those people. And I thank God that, He showed you to me. And sometimes we just need some Jesse in our lives, I guess.
I wish we had more brothers like you. We need more brothers like you. This because we don't have most guys that can, lead black people into the right direction. And I thank you for that, because a lot of people will be like, man, it's still going on. It's racism. Yeah. And I try to tell them, watch his show. Listen to this brother. He's telling the truth.
Take no thought about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't exist. And you're going to see, man, God is with us and all is well.